The monitor section provides global access to parameters including monitor, cue, oscillator, and talkback. Let's take a look at each of those. The monitor section provides access to the global monitor bus functions of the DM7. You'll find it in the menu bar. It includes the following sections: monitor, cue, oscillator, and talkback. The monitor condensed view will provide the user quick access to commonly used functions for each section. The DM7 has 2 monitor buses, A and B. It also has 2 cue buses, A and B, that travel through the monitor bus. Each monitor bus provides 8 customizable source selects which determine what you hear in the monitor bus when you are not in cue. Dimmer parameters are also available in this view. Make sure the output label is illuminated for you to hear audio. The cue section allows the selection of mixed or last cue behavior. In last cue, only one channel can be cued at a time. In mixed cue, multiple channels can be cued simultaneously. Clear cue will clear all cue channels and revert the monitor section back to the assigned source select. Because the cue output is independent of the monitor output, make sure both the monitor and cue buses are turned on to hear the cue channels in the monitor bus and the headphone output. The oscillator has 4 signal modes: sine wave 2-channel, pink noise, and burst. Level adjustment is also provided in this view. Talkback condensed view provides talkback input patching as well as COM input patch. It provides access to the 8 custom talk groups as well as a latching talkback button. Touching on the left tabs will expand each section to show all parameters for each section, and we will discuss each section in the next few lessons. Expanding the monitor section reveals additional parameters. Source Select provides 8 custom sources that can be built in the monitor source defined section. Opening up this view provides access to input and output channels as well as an optional direct input for more flexible monitoring schemes. You have access to the 8 monitor source groups for easy assignment of channels and naming. The monitor source defined window applies to both monitor A and B sections. Cue and COM interrupt settings are accessed in this view, as well as an insert point for additional processing. Setup Speaker provides patching for 3 pairs of monitor speakers, main, Alt1, and Alt2. COM activation and level are also located in this section. Expanding the cue section provides access to additional settings. Trim levels and cue behaviors for input, output, and DCA channels can be selected here. You have an insert section in the cue bus just like the monitor bus for additional processing. If using an insert, make sure it is turned on. Stereo or mono modes are selectable as well as cue bus patching. Solo is another feature of the cue. Some may call it solo in place or destructive solo. Although the term is used interchangeably with cue, here it has a different function. When activated, Solo will now take over the cue bus and cue channels in the stereo bus output. This means you are now isolating channels at front of house. Be careful when activating this function, which is typically during sound check. The utility screen will show a red Solo label to remind you that the cue is in solo mode. You probably don't want this activated during the performance, so remember to turn it off. This is one of the few parameters that resets when the console is rebooted. Expanding the oscillator window will provide access to the oscillator patching. The DM7 provides routing to input and output channels as well as the monitor bus. The channels can be assigned in the screen or by turning on Set by SEL. To select channels from the hardware faders by pressing the SEL button. The expanded view also provides access to a high-pass and low-pass filter. When we expand the Talkback section, you can choose your input patch for your Talkback as well as your COM input patch. Both provide access to all available input ports on the console. Talk Groups allows you to program custom presets for output destinations when you activate your Talkback. You can assign different combinations of output mixes. This is a great feature for the monitor engineer. For example, Talk Group 1 can be the music director. Talk Group 2 can be the entire band, while Talk Group 3 could be all the vocalists, not including the band, etc. This feature gives you the ability to have discrete communication between the engineer and the performers. These talk groups can be assigned to user-defined keys for easy access and labeling.